let's park that there for a second. Andy Mitten, editor of United We Stand, is with us. And there has just been a goal in extra time, Andy. 1-0, Manchester United.
Yes, Scott McTominay did what he keeps doing, scoring goals at Old Trafford. A bright point in a pretty awful game of football at a snowy Old Trafford. Chances have been few. West Ham haven't had, they've had one, I think. And both Uniteds played pretty poorly. David Moyes has set up not to lose the game. And West Ham got into extra time. Manchester United made several substitutes, brought on the cavalry. Cavani, Brandon Williams, and I'm going to include Scott McTominay in that because he keeps scoring, and in the 97th minute he's put Manchester United ahead. So it's looking better than when you called me and we set this lineup. I do think the FA Cup is absolutely worth winning, and it's important in Manchester United's history. And I felt that if West Ham would have won tonight at Old Trafford, given what's happened in recent matches with Manchester United dropping points against Everton after 94 minutes at the weekend, and then all those draws against Liverpool and Manchester City, and a few disappointing results given how strong United were looking the last time we spoke. So any win would be taken, I think, this evening, and there's 20 minutes left in extra time, and West Ham are going to have to do what they failed to do and touch the ball within 200 miles of Dean Henderson in the Manchester United goal.
Okay, I'm not feeling so bad I didn't get to watch this game this evening then, so you've filled us in. We had obviously planned to be talking to you at full time and we could draw some kind of conclusion about the result this evening. Hey, let's assume for a second United see this out and they win. I agree with you, they'll probably need to, because it doesn't take much to tip the balance of scrutiny when it comes to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And look, we spoke over the last month and we agreed that United's position was very flattering and a lot of the wins didn't have great performances behind them, and there was a sense they would do very well to hang with whoever was going to ultimately win the league. As it turns out, it will be Manchester City. However, there will be disappointment as they go on the attack again here. No, there will be disappointment, Andy, at just how quickly the title challenge evaporated. I mean, before, like it hung around for about a fortnight and now the air's completely gone out of it again. I mean, you might have been hoping for March or April.
Yeah, I wouldn't say definitively that the title race is over. Manchester City clearly look the strongest team and they're on that incredible winning run, and that has been as surprising as Liverpool's very poor form. But City have imploded in the latter stages of the Champions League a couple of times, and that has affected their league form. I do think Manchester City will win the league. I never thought that Manchester United would win the league, but if Solskjaer's side are going to finish second and win the FA Cup, or get 10 points more than last season and win the FA Cup or win the Europa League, I still think you'd call this season a success. Yeah. It's been more enjoyable than recent seasons. Just to be in a title race, however fleeting, has been something new for United fans, and it's the first time that's happened since 2013 when the team last won the league. I think when City came to Old Trafford in the League Cup semi-final, they showed that the small margins belong with them. They had the best defender on the pitch, Ruben Dias. They had the best midfielder, Fernandinho, and they've got more experience of winning, and they've got a brilliant manager in Pep Guardiola. Will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer become a brilliant Manchester United manager? I don't know the answer to that. I think he's doing a good job. At some point, he's got to do a great job because league titles are expected at Old Trafford. But I think it's a difficult time for football economically. I don't think you're going to see Manchester United going out and spending 100 million in the closed season. I just don't think there's the money there. That said, they're in a better position than almost every other club. And the team definitely needs strengthening, and Solskjaer knows which areas need strengthening. And we've seen, as results have dipped a little bit recently, albeit from Manchester United being at the top of the league, this team has still got some way to go. And Solskjaer's done well. He's moved players on. Last week he moved Marcus Rojo on. Jesse Lingard went on loan to West Ham. That could be a win-win for everybody because he's not a bad player. He could be playing in a top 8 Premier League team, and he started really well at West Ham. And if he continues to do well, there's good value there, and that releases some money on the wage bill. It brings some more money in. So I think if I was giving Manchester United a report, I'd say good, but it's not great. It's good. And there's been some really exhilarating moments. There's been lots of goals. The team are the top scorers in the league. They've conceded far too many as well. And I put this to Ole Gunnar last Friday and said, your team has conceded more goals than any, down to Leeds United, who were 11th or 12th, and Leeds conceded a hatful under Bielsa. And he said to me, yeah, but you're a Man United fan. You'd rather win 3-2 than 1-0. And I get that. And plenty of people were complaining about the football under Jose Mourinho, under David Moyes, under Louis van Gaal. But Solskjaer did actually say, of course, we'd rather be not conceding any. So there's tightening up to do there. I think question marks continue over the goalkeeper, De Gea, over Victor Lindelof. These are good players, but again, it's got to be better than good. If you want to play for one of the best teams in the world, as Manchester United should be, Stam and Vidic were fantastic. You look at Real Madrid's Varane and Ramos central defensive partnership. It was one of the reasons why they won those 3 Champions Leagues. And look at what Virgil van Dijk did when he moved to Liverpool and combined with Alisson. He transformed that team into a promising, improving team to title winners and European Cup winners. They're a long way off that at the moment, though.
What happened to Gea?
He's made too many mistakes, and he was Manchester United's best player during some very difficult times throughout the last decade. Player of the Year several times, and that got him to earn that huge contract where, as we speak, he's the best paid goalkeeper in the world. There were always worries about his performances for his national team. So the opinions about him in Spain are less flattering than they are among Manchester United fans. But he's been making too many mistakes, high-profile mistakes. And when he does make those mistakes, when his confidence is hit, it's a long way back for him. The talent's still there, but if he feels that people are doubting him and criticising him, he struggles with that. Right. And I don't think he had any problem with Dean Henderson coming in and pushing him. And Dean Henderson's done well, but if Dean Henderson is going to be Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper, then he too needs a run of games. That's only fair to any goalkeeper, and not just snatches of matches in domestic cup competitions. But De Gea's stock has fallen, it really has, but United are stuck with him because he earns too much money. Nobody can come close to affording the wages that he's on. And would you say he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now? No, it's not even close. Other keepers have made mistakes. We saw Alisson against Manchester City, and he's been a magnificent goalkeeper, but that doesn't really concern Manchester United fans. They're just worried when more points are dropped or when the team go out the FA Cup as they did last season because of a mistake by David De Gea. And they're surprised as well because he's been so good for so long, but he hasn't been in the last year.
Yeah, for a long time now. I mean, it's at the point really where I would say with a lot of United fans, Andy, he doesn't have any credit in the bank anymore. It's been steadily eroded.
He has some, but credit is subjective. But let's just say it was at a 90% level had we been speaking a year and a half ago. And it's not now. It's dropped. Every mistake, you lose 5% of this imaginary credit. But it is real to talk about that. I can remember Jose Mourinho's credit diminishing with every defeat and every whinge throughout 2018. And if Dean Henderson started in the league at the weekend, then I don't think many fans would complain about that because De Gea has been a liability too often. Expectations are high, and not unreasonably so. He's the best paid goalkeeper in the world. And maybe among United fans, he hasn't always helped himself. He doesn't do any media. No one knows what he's really like. No, it's hard to warm to the personality. But all that pales when you're performing well. Nothing else matters. But when it doesn't, I've always felt that because people don't know him, doesn't make his case any easier. But I do know that when he struggles and when his form drops, he struggles. And I know that the coaches have got to work extra hard with him to get him back to the level where his confidence is up, he's feeling imperious as he has done so often, and he's not going through a good time right now. So it's a double-edged sword. What do you do? As supporters, do you get behind him? Do you feel does he need to feel the love and support because he built up such a big bank of credit? Or do the fans tell him straight, you're not good enough, you should be dropped, which plenty of people will do.
Yeah, catch-22. Listen, we'll let you get back to this thriller. They're into the second half of extra time, so still United 1-0 up, and I'm sure you're hoping they can see this out. Andy Mitten, as ever, thanks a million.
Thank you.
Cheers, Andy Mitten, their editor of United We Stand. Interesting on De Gea, Dan, there's a confidence issue with him. I guess confidence issue with everyone. We're all human beings, but you almost just would have assumed someone of his stature would have built up as a base level of resilience that wouldn't need propping up from coaches and all the external staff at Old Trafford every time he goes through a bad patch or even makes a bad mistake.
It's funny, I was thinking of almost return to our previous discussion there. Like, Andy made a reference there to, Manchester United fans like showing them the love or whatever. How do they even do that now? As in, like, they have to do it probably by like, what do they get? Like a lot of likes on a tweet or something, or post. Like, if you think about it, like, there's times when like a player is very low on confidence and they walk out in front of like a full stadium and everyone's like getting behind them and chanting their name and giving them the support. You don't really have that option now, do you? So
he could risk a Twitter poll. Me or Henderson? Me or Henderson?
Exactly.
Come on.
But as we know, so many of the social media stuff, it's like they're so sycophantic to your face as such, a lot of the time. And then it's only when things go wrong, like on a Thursday or something, he'd get a great response. But 10 minutes after, don't do the poll when you walk off after the Everton game. It's sort of 11 o'clock that night, go, who do you think should play next week? That's maybe a mistake. But